Good morning, everybody. It's early Friday in the Nieves house, and it's cold, so I have my bathrobe on over my street clothes. Sorry, but it's nice and toasty. Maybe I should fast from that, but I'm not. So I'm sitting here with my coffee, and I thought I would finish this and then finish my morning prayer. I began it, but I need to finish that. So I thought I would do this first. We are at the first Friday of Lent. Can you believe it? It's here. And if you remember what we did on Wednesday, every Ash Wednesday is what the church would define as a public fast. So we all know as Catholic that it's the day of fast and abstinence, and we declare that public fast, and we all begin together. We wear ashes on our forehead. All of that is intentional, and it happens that way every year. If we haven't caught on, if we've lived through more than one Ash Wednesday, we need to remind ourselves that we do the same thing every year. And so we begin in public with one another. How beautiful is that? We all know what we're there for. We all participate. And we know everywhere that we go that day who the other Catholics are because it's marked on our forehead. And in all of that, we know that we are not alone in what we're doing. How beautiful is that? So Lent began on Wednesday. So remind ourselves what else the church tells us is that we begin in public, we begin together, and then we continue in secret, so that the Father who sees in secret knows what we're doing, supports us, gives us strength, helps us. How beautiful is that? That is Lent. You and I could not do anything without God's help. It's a very striking realization, isn't it? So, a thing that I like to read, it's called The Catholic Thing. Antonin Scalia's son, his name is Father Paul Scalia, had a reflection on Sunday. And I've been thinking about it since I read it on Sunday because it really applies to Lent. So let me share it with you. I'm just going to take one thing that he said about it. He talks about the bitter irony of original sin. And this is what he said. The bitter irony is that it has made us simultaneously more self-focused and less self-aware. Despite our thinking so much about ourselves, we have little self-knowledge to show for it. Father Scalia points in the direction of what the psalmist refers to as incurvatus nimis. That's kind of an turning in on ourselves, right? And that's true. We put ourselves, thanks to original sin and what Bishop Barron calls the ego drama, ourselves as the center of the universe. And boy, is that not true. So the whole idea of incurvatus nimis, in order to cure that, the church gives us a cure. It's called Lent. Remember what Father Dave said on Wednesday. The church gives us three, let's call them pillars, three things that we're asked to do. And we heard it in the reading on Wednesday at the Ash Wednesday Mass. God, in the person of Jesus Christ, asks us to do three things. Now, I'll remind us, he didn't say if, he said when we pray we fast, we give alms. So that's where those pillars come from, because Jesus said them. We should take that seriously. And when we do those things, it's our way of taking ourselves away from that self-focus, pointing us in the direction outward to God, to Jesus Christ, to our fellow human beings. So prayer brings us closer to God. Almsgiving helps us to think of other people. And fasting gets us off ourselves, makes us give up anything and everything, at least a piece of it, that gets us, or better said, gets in the way of our faith and our relationship probably more key, with God, with Jesus. So this Lent, pick something out of those three and do it. We live in a world that is pretty broken, and it becomes more and more apparent every day. We need to pray for peace. And I'll remind us what we do as Catholics. And I don't think American Catholics are necessarily very good at this. We live in very comfortable situations, most of us, thanks be to God. When we give things up, we can offer it for something bigger that we can't do on our own. We call that offering a penance, or giving it up, or offering it up for something bigger, for something that we can't attain without God's help. That's what those sacrifices do. So one of the strongest things that we can do this Lent is, for any and everything that we do it intentionally, for peace in our world, for a help from God with all of the craziness going on around us, for any people in our life that need those prayers. I know that we have people in our community always suffering with cancer and other ailments and infirmities. Let's use this Lent to get out of that incurvatus nimis, that internal focus, and let's get closer to Jesus. Let's get closer to our fellow human beings, and holier than we're beginning. I'll tell you, we can't make ourselves holy. So I'm going to remind us that the only person that can is Jesus Christ. God saved us. Everything that we have comes from Him. So let's put Jesus at the center of our Lenten celebration. Let's not be wimpy in what we give up. If we always do what we always did, we always get what we always got. So this Lent, let's turn it up a notch, thinking of the world that we live in. The world needs our sacrifice, especially now. So on this first full weekend of Lent, may God bless us with inspiration on what we should do and help us to do it. So my fellow Catholic friends, know that I am with you in solidarity in whatever you do, and that I will be doing something as well. And may God bless us this Lent, and I'll see you at Mass on the weekend. God bless you.